Good afternoon. The Department of Foreign Affairs says it is seriously concerned with the alleged destruction of coral reefs and harvesting of corals in the West Philippine Sea by foreign entities. In a message to reporters Monday evening, DFA spokesperson Teresita Daza says the agency is seriously concerned about the reports of the destruction of corals in Rosul Reef, which is within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. The Armed Forces of the Philippines recently sounded the alarm over China's suspected harvesting of corals from the West Philippine Sea. Earlier, the Philippine Coast Guard likewise released video showing the extent of the severe damage believed to be caused by Chinese maritime militia vessels in Rosul Reef in Escoda Shoal. Daza says the Philippines has repeatedly and consistently raised alarm over ecologically harmful activities conducted by foreign entities in the country's maritime zones. She states that they are calling on everyone concerned to act responsibly and refrain from damaging the Philippines' marine environment, as millions depend on it for their livelihood. Daza did not detail, however, whether a diplomatic protest was filed against China. ACT-CIS Party List Representative Erwin Tulfo says the House of Representatives leadership seems to be inclined to temporarily suspend the excise taxes on fuel until December instead of giving financial aid to address the continuing surge in oil prices. Tulfo reveals this in a press briefing on Monday after Speaker Martin Romualdez and other ranking lawmakers met with oil companies' representatives. Citing Albay's 2nd District Representative Joey Salceda, Tulfo explains that the length of suspension until December was chosen because the demand for fuel will go down and consequently so will prices. Excise taxes were placed on fuel by the Tax Reform for Acceleration and Inclusion Law as an additional funding source for the past administration's infrastructure program. Tulfo says that based on the computations by Santa Rosa City Representative Dan Fernandez, suspending the fuel excise tax would make the government lose around 4.9 billion pesos per month in revenues. In exchange, fuel prices may be cut by around 10 pesos to 14 pesos per liter, according to him. Tulfo says that Romualdez would have to make a formal recommendation to President Bongbong Marcos for the suspension of the excise taxes on fuel, which only the President could do. Marikina's 2nd District Representative Stella Kimbo earlier said, however, that the government would need to analyze carefully if it should suspend the tax collection or opt to give social aid to affected consumers instead. First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos says the Formula One Singapore Grand Prix provides opportunities for networking. In a social media post, the First Lady says the F1 race provides opportunities for networking with figures, celebrities, and business leaders. President Bongbong Marcos attended the F1 Grand Prix upon the invitation of Singaporean Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, according to the palace. The chief executive earlier said he met with Lee during the F1 Grand Prix and that discussions with him have been promising. Critics have slammed Marcos' attendance in the F1 race in Singapore, calling it insensitive as the country is facing an economic crisis. To recall, the president also attended the F1 Grand Prix in Singapore in October last year after Typhoon Karding battered the country. Here's the latest roundup of today's top stories. DFA says it is seriously concerned with the alleged destruction of coral reefs and harvesting of corals in the West Philippine Sea by foreign entities. Amid criticisms, First Lady Liza Araneta Marcos says F1 race provides opportunities for networking with political figures and business leaders. And gold medalists in Asian Games to get a total of 3 million pesos after the Philippine Olympic Committee pledged an additional 1 million peso bonus. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good afternoon.